Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. Today, we will be covering the cases of Laci Peterson and Evelyn Hernandez. Laci Peterson was first reported missing by her husband, Scott Peterson, on the Christmas Eve of 2002. He explains that he went fishing that morning at the Berkeley Marina and she was gone when he came back home. They lived in Modesto, California, and the Berkeley Marina is about 90 miles away, or about an hour and a half drive with no traffic. 4 months after being reported missing, Laci's body and their unborn son, whom they planned to name Connor, were discovered on the shores of the San Francisco Bay. Scott was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. In 2004, he was found guilty of first-degree murder of Laci and second-degree murder of baby Connor. He was given the death penalty. However, in 2020, his case was overturned, and in 2021, he was resentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On the day prior to her disappearance at 5:45 p.m., Scott and Laci went to Laci's sister's hair salon. Laci's sister, Amy, cut Scott's hair. That same evening at around 8:30 p.m., Laci and her mom spoke over the phone. Scott claims that the last time he saw Laci was the morning of her disappearance before he left to the Berkeley Marina at around 9:30 a.m. while she was watching Martha Stewart on the TV and preparing to mop the floor, bake cookies, and take their dog on a walk. At 10:30 a.m., a neighbor found the dog outside their home by itself. At 2:15 p.m., Scott called Laci and left a voicemail saying, "Hey beautiful, it's 2:15, I'm leaving Berkeley." At around 4:30 p.m., Scott returns home where he saw Laci's car in the driveway but no Laci. He assumed Laci's mom had picked her up and was at her house in preparation for Christmas Eve dinner. At this point, Scott takes off his boat clothes, runs them in the dishwasher, showers, and gets dressed. At 5:17 p.m., Scott calls Laci's mom and asks if she was there, which she confirmed she was not. Scott then knocks on neighbors' doors, calls neighbors and friends, and checks the neighborhood park for Laci. At around 6 p.m., both Scott and Ron, Laci's stepfather, call 911 and report Laci missing. We all know Laci was 7 months pregnant with a due date of February 10, 2003. The police discovered Laci's keys, wallet, sunglasses, and purse in a closet. On December 30th, 2002, Amber Frey calls the Modesto police saying she was Scott's girlfriend. They met on November 20th, 2002, where Scott claimed to be single. She further states that on December 9th, 2002, Scott tells her this was going to be his first Christmas as a widower. Given this information, Amber started working with the police and she started recording her calls with Scott. On April 13, 2003, Laci and Connor's bodies, specifically Laci's torso, were discovered at the Richmond's Point Isabel Regional Shoreline Park. Laci's head, arms, and legs were never recovered. Scott tried to flee to Mexico, dyeing his hair blonde, withdrawing $15,000 worth in cash, and borrowing his brother's ID. The police also found Viagra, clothes, 4 cell phones, camping, and survivalist equipment in his car. Now we're going to talk about Evelyn Hernandez and Alex Hernandez. Cynthia Verity wrote the following in her blog titled Criminal. 7 months before the disappearance of Laci Peterson, a pregnant San Francisco woman and her child disappeared, and no one seemed to care. Evelyn Hernandez was a 24-year-old legal immigrant from El Salvador. She was a single mother to her 5-year-old son, Alexis Hernandez. Evelyn was also 9 months pregnant. She was planning to name her baby boy Fernando. The day before she disappeared, she spoke to her baby daddy, Herman, and her sister on the phone. The day before she disappeared, when she was talking to her sister on the phone, they talked about baby shower arrangements. On May 1st, 2002, she picked up her son Alex from preschool, stopped at an ATM, and was never seen again. On May 7, 2002, Herman Aguilar contacted the San Francisco Police Department and reported her and her son missing. Herman was also the father of Evelyn's unborn child. Upon searching her apartment, the police found their passports, but her wallet was missing. As I previously mentioned, Evelyn was a legal immigrant from El Salvador. At the time of her disappearance, she was living in the Mission District and was working as a vocational nurse. Evelyn disappeared 5 days before her due date. A couple days after her disappearance, Evelyn's wallet with $40 and an uncashed disability check was found in a South San Francisco parking lot. In August of 2002, Evelyn's torso was found near the Embarcadero in San Francisco, California, under the Bay Bridge. The baby she was carrying was never found. Evelyn's head, hands, and feet were missing. Her baby daddy, Herman Aguilera, was a married airplane mechanic. He was never named a suspect or person of interest in her case by the San Francisco Police Department. Alex's father was in the Navy and not involved physically or financially in his life. Questions, thoughts, opinions. These are my personal opinions, none of this is facts. This is just what I think. So if Scott Peterson didn't murder Laci and their unborn child, and Evelyn Hernandez's baby daddy didn't kill her, could the real killer still be out there? Could there be a pregnant, obsessed weirdo out there still here in our very own Bay Area? I think what haunts me the most is that both Laci and Evelyn's torsos were found. They were both very pregnant. Both their heads, hands, and feet have never been found. The obvious sad reality is that while Laci's case drew heavy media attention and is a household name, I didn't learn about Evelyn's case until it was covered by Crime Junkie in January of 2024. And while it was extremely easy to find facts, news articles, podcasts, documentaries, and TV shows about Laci, I was only able to find 4 legit articles about Evelyn's disappearance. Before knowing about the Evelyn Hernandez case, I thought Scott Peterson was 100% guilty, especially when the world found out about his affair, the way he said he was a widow before Laci went missing, and more importantly, the way he tried to flee to Mexico. After learning about Evelyn and Alex Hernandez, and more importantly, Evelyn's unborn baby, Fernando, I am inclined to say that being a shitty husband doesn't make you a killer. Thank you for coming down the rabbit hole where I currently live. As always, I accept and respect your opinions. If you'd like a copy of my references, please email yayareahousewife@gmail.com. Be sure to follow me on all other platforms at Bay Area Housewife. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.